Welcome to the lesson on actions. In the end, we're going to create our own action to remove red eyes. Why do we need actions in Photoshop? Well, Photoshops have an extension of ATN, ATN. And actions are a series of tasks that you create to play back on a single file or a batch of files automatically. What is great about this is you can imagine if you wanted to remove red eyes, did you want to go through all the steps in order to do that, or just press a button and have it done for you? So they're very useful, convenient, flexible, and there are a lot of actions out there that you can buy and download, believe it or not. So where are actions? Well, if you go to Window, Actions, or as I have here, you see this little icon, it'll bring out the Actions panel, which is usually combined with the History panel. You'll see some default actions. They may be collapsed or expanded, doesn't matter. And here, let's talk about some things that you see. This little folder icon means this is an action set. The action set is called default actions. Within the default actions are actions. So it's kind of funny. And within the actions, if you expand this triangle, are recorded commands. Now what's interesting is some of the things that you can record, there are many things that you can record. Things you cannot record are painting and toning tools, some tool options, view commands, and window commands. So just remember this. Painting and toning tools, tool options, view commands, and window commands. Very important to know. Now let's say that this bothers you for some reason and you want to see all the actions at the same time. Press Alt, click on this triangle, you will expand all of the actions at once. Press Alt again and collapse it, let go, and they will collapse for you. Now, if we were to select this action within the action set of default actions, expand it, we can see that we have certain commands. If I were to go to this command by selecting it and then clicking the check mark, this will skip this command. It will not include it. Now, the problem is that other commands are probably built upon that first command. So by not including that, you may have some issues. But it's also good for finding out what's working, what's not working, error checking, of that sort. You'll notice that some of the check marks went red when I unchecked this. That indicates that that means that some are going to be checked and some are not. When I check it, this means all of them are checked as indicated with the black. On the other side are modal controls. Modal controls basically means you're going to be pressing enter to do something. If you see black, that means it's all there, and red means some or all of them are not there. So let's use an action here. So let me go over to my flyout menu and let me go to image effects. You see these? These are set actions that are already provided for you. So you can go through them and see what you like. And I just opened up this real cheesy photo of clouds just to show you something real quick. I'm going to go to image effects. You can see that there's a whole bunch of actions that I can use. Let me click on sepia toning. That's something that you see a lot of and know a lot of, hear a lot of. So I will click on the command and I will go down here. I can trash, I can provide a new. This creates the action set. We'll do in another lesson. Play, begin recording, and stop. So what I'm going to do is click play and let's see what happens. Did you see it change to sepia? You see how fast it was? It was just that fast. By pressing this play command, it went through all these steps in seconds. What did it do? It created another layer, and then it created a hue saturation layer which provided the sepia tone. Now the thing about actions you have to remember is sometimes you have to configure your Photoshop before you actually do the steps, and I'm going to show you what that means also in the later lesson. That's just something else. Also, when you're doing units, you want to make sure you go to Edit, Preferences, I think it's Units and Rulers. Make sure your rulers are in percent. Do not use pixels, inches, or points, because the reason is percent allows fluidity, whereas pixels allow preciseness, and you never know how precise the person's screen is going to be, but at least percents gives you some leeway. So make sure you want to use percents when you're resizing an image, for example. Use percent. Or you're making a frame. Use percent. Now in the next lesson we'll talk about some interesting things with these commands.